used to fill every moment of my life with work, with study, with alcohol, with boys, with religion, with my phone, with distractions, anything to keep me from facing myself, from feeling the pain I carried, the pain of not belonging. I didn't realize it then, but I was afraid of space. Afraid to be alone, afraid to sit still, afraid to see myself clearly. And who was I? A hurting teenager with a sick mum, a busy dad, a family that didn't have time for me, secret boyfriends, betrayals, bipolar in the house. I was angry at the God I used to believe in, abandoned by people who were supposed to love me unconditionally. Underneath it all, I felt worthless. How could I give myself space when I didn't even like who I was? When every opinion that mattered mirrored the worst opinion of me? I was terrified that if I slowed down, the shame would swallow me whole. That is why I ran from space. I fell into patterns of self-destruction. I ran from the pain I didn't know how to hold and found myself in situations that only deepened it. I pushed and pushed past my own needs, my own body's signals, burning out constantly. Grief and trauma followed me wherever I went. Then something cracked open. It started with a breakup, a really sad one where I couldn't hide from who I was anymore. I had hurt someone I cared about again. I had to face the truth. I had to face myself. For the first time, I began to let myself be seen. I started practicing yoga and meditation, journaling every day, not because I had it all figured out, but because I didn't. I just needed something, a place to sit with the ache and the shame of who I thought I was, to start being honest with myself, even just for an hour a day. I still numbed and drank to cope. I was still chasing affection and validation. I was still moving too fast most of the time. But something was shifting. I was starting to listen, and that mattered. And then lockdown hit. The world slowed down and I had no choice but to slow down with it. In the stillness of lockdown, the noise of my life fell away. What remained was pain and the quiet, persistent truth that I was deeply tired of abandoning myself. That year, my self-destructive behavior reached a tipping point. I fell pregnant and I made a panicked decision to have an abortion. Later in the year, I experienced an ectopic pregnancy, despite having an IUD in and a supportive partner at the time. Two very different events tied with the same string. Both broke me open and left me bleeding. I didn't exactly choose to heal. It felt more like choosing to stop running. So I returned to those practices I had already begun: yoga, meditation, and writing. Walking by the water, I sought out solitude, letting myself be held by the trees and crying with the sunsets. I ate nourishing food and started to physically run regularly. Master Eckhart, a German poet and philosopher from the 13th century, wrote, "There is a place in the soul where neither time nor space can enter." In changing the way I was showing up in my daily life, a clearing began to form within me. I found this place, this inner sanctuary, a refuge within, where I could meet myself without judgment, where I could soften the harsh edges of my reality and be with all the parts of me that needed to be witnessed, the ones I'd forgotten and the ones I'd never met before. I didn't always like what I found, but I stayed. And when the pain became too unbearable and I couldn't stay alone, I reached out to dear friends who would sit with me in the mud, usually into the wee hours of the night, while my body raged and grieved her losses. In staying and creating stillness, I began to see things differently. I found forgiveness, learned how to let go of the hope for a better past. I found a sense of freedom to be as I was. I found room to experience joy and grief at the same time. Space to play and imagine, to hope and to feel safe again. I discovered my desire to be a mother. I connected with the cycles of the moon, her rhythm giving shape and meaning to a story I once thought was only pain. I began to witness an expansion within me, a spaciousness I hadn't known before. The practices I once clung to for survival during this time became quiet rituals, clearing a sacred space within me that I still return to today. A place of remembering and of rebirth, a womb of sorts. From this space, something continues to shift. I no longer wait for healing to find me. I seek it with intention. Vision therapy is teaching me to see myself and the world more fully. Community reminds me that I don't have to heal alone. With trusted guides, I am peeling back the layers of who I thought I was, like a lotus flower blooming from the muddy waters, each petal unfolding to something softer, something more true. This is where I am now, walking the path with a softer heart and a growing trust in the space that holds me. When you can create space within yourself, you land in a place where you can truly receive time. The world around you softens, and possibilities for a better life begin to reveal themselves. It's taken me 10 years, maybe more, to arrive here, to rewrite the story I once believed about myself, to live in the possibility that maybe I am already enough just as I am. This was the space I didn't know I needed.